This is the nail set that I decided to do for the release of the third book in the Emperyian series, Onyx Storm. Stay tuned and I will show you how I created it. Hello, welcome back. Today's nail set is inspired by Onyx Storm, and here are my inspiration pictures that I used. I decided to kind of draw this one out on this sheet that I just printed offline. It's just a free one that I found, I think, on Pinterest, and I just printed them off. It's really, really big nails because I knew I wanted to test some color combinations. Now, I was undecided if I wanted to do the gold for Andarna with the purple iridescent kind of peeking through. And once I tried it out, I wasn't really digging it because Andarna is supposedly now a black iridescent one, dragon, instead of gold, but I wanted to show both. But I decided to go with a white iridescent chrome base and then the purple on top. And then I was trying out different colors for the eye that I wanted to do, and the index finger was the only nail that I was like really set on. And then I was thinking about doing a marble on the couple of other nails, but that was really just to like get my ideas on paper, just to kind of figure out what I wanted to do. Like I had this idea in my head, but I wasn't sure where I wanted to go with it. And then I have this stamping plate that is perfect. I love dragons, and this is from Pretty Fingers by Robin. I've used it before on my channel, but it's no longer available, so I'm sorry in advance. It's not available at this time, but I do end up incorporating it. I do not include the stamping in this video because, y'all, those lines were so hard to pick up, and I just was getting frustrated. So I show everything else though, but I'm going to use this chrome Siren from Sundara Nails. And I'm going to use mostly gel polishes from Bling Galleria, and then I do use a couple from Sundara Nails as well. I did want the white to glow, but I wanted to put like a solid white because I end up doing a white base on two of the nails. Then I do a black base on the middle nail. And then I do like a glittery black on two of the other nails. On the other two nails. But for the white base, I was thinking, reading the book, there's so many guesses of what Andarna is possibly going to be. Is she a black iridescent, or is she just taking that black color because she's matching Taryn's color? I'm excited to see where that goes in this book. So I'm thinking that maybe she can camouflage, because she kept saying in the book at the end of Iron Flame that she can hide anywhere. So I'm thinking that she can kind of chameleon-like do it where she matches her surroundings. So that's why I did a white pearlescent. And then I found lots of pictures of her with the purple, either being purple or being purple with like iridescent look to her. So that's what gave me the idea for those colors. And I kind of wanted to do like a tail swipe on the pinky. I didn't really like, I wanted to do like a tail swirl. I didn't want to do the whole tail. There are so many dragon nail sets out there, and I kind of wanted to do my own little thing for them and combine the cover of the book with Taryn and Andarna, just because I feel like that's just what I wanted to do with it. So that's just what I decided to go with. And I found a lot of pictures that kind of like inspired me that weren't like nail pictures. So that's kind of what I did with this one. But for these two nails, these are going to be, the pinky is going to be the Andarna nail where I do the tail swipe, and when you saw the beginning. Then the ring finger is where I do the two dragons themselves. And when I do the white, so I do the white, and then I put the glow on top of it. And then like because the glow is like a glitter. And then to give it that final like shimmer, I put the chrome on top of the glow. So it's the white, then the glow, then the chrome. That's just how that layering went. And on the middle nail, I wasn't 100% sure what I was going to do there. I wasn't sure if I was going to do alcohol ink marbling or if I was going to do just like regular gel polish marbling. But as you see, I ultimately ended up doing a gel polish marble. So I'm going to show you how I did that. This white is a one coat coverage. Black is one coat coverage. But I just did two just in case because I have the glitter as you see as like the base color and I really wanted that to pop more and I wasn't sure if I was going to do anything matte. So if I'm unsure of a design, if I'm using black or a white or like a pastel or any type of color, but really any color, really, I'll do two layers just as like a safety measure, so that I can literally do anything that I want because sometimes you don't get the exact color opacity that you might want with matte if you don't do two layers, sometimes. But anyway, this color is called Whips and Chains. It's from the Queen Diana exclusive collection. And I know that Taryn is all black, but I really just wanted to give that little bit of a gold speck because in the book, Violet mentions the gold flecks in Xaden's eye. And I just kind of wanted to bring in little parts throughout the book in this set. So I was like, I have not used Whips and Chains yet. So I wanted to go ahead and pull out that. And you're not really going to be able to see it too well because I'm going to do like the dragon scale effect with the bubbles on top of it. I mean, you can see it really well with the flash, but without the flash, it's kind of hard to see it. Like I'm trying to look at it now doing the voiceover and it just looks black. Like that's one of those colors that you just have to see in the sun. So, or with flash. So I'm going to go back and do my second layer of the white. I already did the second layer of the black off camera. And then I was like, let me just show them that I just did two layers. But I ended up doing two layers of all of them. And then now I'm going to put the white lightning, which is a white glow, which I do throw in a picture at the end of the glow for those nails and how the dragons show through. I thought it was really cool. But yeah, I wanted to kind of throw in little bits and pieces throughout the book of stuff that I love to make this set like my own, just to compile a bunch of different things. And then the middle finger, I feel like even looking at it now is kind of like a little bit plain. I wish I would have done like maybe like a gold accent or like some gold cloud outlines or stars or something. But y'all, it was late when I finished this set because I sat down, you saw, with like a semi plan. And then I just kind of was unsure where I was going to go with it when I got to, like, I had the pinky down, I had the index finger, I had the thumb. I knew what I was going to do. But I was just like, man, I don't know what I want to do on those other two fingers. So as time was going on, I had seen that everybody was doing the dragon one on top of the other because that's like a symbol for the book and for the series and stuff like that. But I didn't want to do that. And then I saw a lot of people doing the clouds, which are on the cover of the book. And I also I wanted to do something a little bit different. So that's why I had a hard time with it because I try to like do my own thing and put my own twist on it. But then I get so far in my head that I just can't come up with any one design. So yeah, it just was a lot, but I love it. I had a really busy week this week, and then my book ended up getting delayed, which is why I kind of like waited a little bit late to post this because I wanted to like throw in a picture with the book, like a little video with the book kind of showing all my book. So I'll include that at the end, showing you my book because I am obsessed with this book. I ordered it back in September. I've never been so excited since Da Vinci Code released. Like I used to love books so much. That used to be my favorite thing in the world to do was just like sit down and read a book. Don't get me wrong, I love it. But when I read, I like to read for hours. And being a mom of four, I just don't get that time to do that. And then the homeschooling, and then I was working a part-time job and homeschooling, and it's just really hard to balance that and reading. So I was only getting a little bit of reading in at the end of the night, at the end of the day, like right before bed. And I don't have time to just sit and read for hours with four kids and two of them being toddlers. And then it just was too much. So I kind of got off reading for a while. but now I've read those 2 books and I am back hooked on reading. So if y'all actually have some book series that y'all like, list them in the description box. I always say freaking description box. List them in the comments. You can't write in my description box. Anyway, list them in the comments because I know a lot of people have said there's the Akotar, A Court of Thorns and Roses. Yeah, I think that's what it is. That series. A lot of people like that series. I'm going to definitely read the Game of Thrones series, which is next. So yeah, let me know if there's a series that y'all like, and I will definitely look into it. All right, so now to Chrome. Chroming is so easy. I'm going to show y'all how easy it is. Now, I've been loving this Born Pretty Chrome top coat. You can use regular top coat. It's just, this is for chroming, and if you're going to be chroming, why not use one that's specifically for it? So there's like no having to guess the timing. Usually it's 15 to 20 seconds depending on your lamp and your polish, but this Born Pretty one, I put it on my nail, make sure everything is all like evened out really well. Like there's the light line is straight and all that. And then I put it in my lamp. I cure for 30 seconds. I have not tried curing it any more or any less. I just put it in for 30 seconds and then I pull my nail out and then I just rub the chrome in and it gives me a perfect chrome every single time. There's no guesswork. There's no timing. There's no nothing. It works with the Amazon chromes. It works with good chromes. It works with, I got like the cheap chromes, but 30 seconds for this specific one. And I think this chrome top coat is like $4.99. If you go on, not on Amazon, if you go on the Born Pretty website, it's like $4.99, either $4.99 or $7.99, but I think it's $9.99 if you get it on Amazon. But either way, like y'all, this is worth it to me. Like to have a chrome specific top coat to not have to worry about it. Like look at how easy that rubbed in. I'm just dabbing the smallest amount and just rubbing it on, and you want to make sure that you're rubbing it in completely. And then you don't even have to worry about any kind of timing, just because it works amazing. Like I just love how it works. And I kind of wanted to show y'all like this shimmer in the pinky. Like you can see this shimmering through the chrome, which I'm obsessed with that now and I have to try it again. But the chrome this way is so easy. Like I know a lot of people are intimidated by chrome, but once you get that perfect combo, it is amazing. I would definitely 100% suggest this Born Pretty Chrome top coat if you struggle with chroming. It will be so easy to get you kind of in the hang of it, but most gel polishes is a 15-second flash cure time and then rub in your chrome and then cure again for a full 30 seconds to make sure that that gel is completely cured. And then you can put a top coat on. Not a top coat. So I was just kind of showing y'all how that looked. What I like to do is I like to put a rubber base coat on top of my chrome because that will help seal in the chrome. It will help strengthen the nail just a little bit, and it will encapsulate the chrome like on the edges. You want to make sure you're capping your edges with this, but it will also give the top coat something sticky to hold on to, because a lot of the time people say their chrome is chipping or their top coat is chipping and whatnot, but if you put a top coat directly over your chrome, the chrome is a slick surface, so the top coat doesn't really have anything to like grip to, so that could be a problem if your chrome is chipping or lifting. I've found that applying a rubber base coat on top of my chrome, on top of my water slides, on top of any kind of like art, I love me some rubber top coat. When in doubt, rubber top coat it out. I love this stuff. It's probably my favorite thing to do over top of any kind of art or any kind. If I'm ever in question, I use a rubber base coat. This is one that has a G on it because it's for glitters and chrome. I only use it for glitters and chrome because if I'm trying to put rubber top coat on a solid nail and I use this one, I'm probably going to contaminate my nail, and like it drives me insane if I'm looking for a solid nail and then I end up having glitters in it. Sometimes I can be okay with it because I change my nails frequently, but sometimes if I'm really going for that specific look, I have to use this separate one. So I do use it for my index finger as well because I was finished with my index finger at this time. My index finger is just going to get top coated and I'm going to do the scales look. Now I'm going to show you as well how to do different, how to get a different scale look. It'll make more sense when we get there, I promise. Because you can make the scales like bigger and deeper and thicker, or like really flat and flush but still noticeable. Like there's different ways to do it. You can also make the bubbles on the scales really small versus really big. So I'm going to show you how to do all three of those different techniques when we get there. So that's obviously at the top coat time, so it's obviously going to be last. So for the middle finger, I used just a regular base coat because I was going to I end up doing a marbling on that one, so I wasn't sure what I was going to do at the time, but it needed a base coat just to give it the black a layer of protection so that whatever I decided to do, I could wipe off if I didn't like it without ruining the black. Also, I did put peel base underneath this set just because I was not sure if I was going to love it or not. And I am day 2 into wearing the set, I think. Did it on Sunday night, Monday night, Sunday night, either Sunday or Monday night. And I did it a couple of days ago anyway. And then it's still holding fine. Like the peel base is still holding fine, but I put the peel base down in case I hated it. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to do the little tail swirl thing on the pinky. Like, I saw this nail set a while ago that had some like flakes in it with a different kind of design. I just love the way that the flakes look. They give it like a I don't know. It's like not a glitter look, but it gives it like the picture I showed in the beginning where the wings looked all like iridescent and shifty and all that. It looked really cool. But I did speed it up because it did take me a while to draw this swirl until I got it perfect because as y'all know, I've been doing like a lot of press-ons lately just because I've been enjoying the press-ons. But I had a busy week this week and lots going on. So I just decided to do them I put some nails on, which I did not record because I was just not in the mood. I was rushing and it takes a lot to record. So I didn't record me putting my nail tips on, but I did want to record the sets that I do on them. Now, I haven't done my other hand yet, so I've been literally having one hand of nails done for a few days, and the other one just has nails on, and they're pretty. They're shimmery and glittery like you can see in the video, but I do plan on doing something else on there. I think I'm just going to do something simple on the other hand, but then again, I don't know what I'm going to do yet because my brain is not focusing on that at the moment. So I made my swirl. I put it in the lamp I actually put it in for 60 seconds because it's black and I wanted to make sure it was fully cured. But that tacky layer is still there. So I'm just dabbing my eyeshadow applicator into the flakes. And I'm going to pick up the flakes and just plop them down on the tacky layer. Now, I don't want to burnish them in. There will be no scrubbing because I don't want the scrubby look. I don't want that look. I don't want the burnished end result look. I just want them to be flake tapped so it looks like really shifty. But the flakes are not going to stick to that other layer. They're not going to stick to the chrome part. They're just going to stick to the black part. Now, I'm going to be honest, any other time I try that, the flakes are going to like wander off and stick to every part of the nail. But for some reason, they don't stick to the nail this time. And I was very happy because that's what I was hoping would happen. And it did. But so I'm just going to do that. And then once I'm happy with all of the flakes where they are, I take this little tiny duster brush and I was like, let's see if this works. Then I just like dust off the excess flakes and it worked. It took off all the flakes anywhere I didn't want them to be. And yeah, everything was great. The flakes didn't stick anywhere. And I was like, oh, that looks really, really cool. It looks better than on my test nail. Yeah, really pretty. just giving it a moment of silence that it deserves. You can see the shimmer shining through the bottom. The chrome is like a purple chrome with the purpley flakes over the black. I just think that was great. So just a moment for that. But now we're going to move along. I'm going to do my blooming gel nail, or my marbling nail. So I'm going to use blooming gel, and I'm going to use black and white. I really wanted to do like a little bit of a smoke effect. I honestly did not feel like getting out my acetone and my marble ink and doing that. I mean, so it just really, there's lots of ways to marble. It's all about how you want to do it. So I just wanted to do the marbling with the gel polish. And I haven't done one of those in a little while, so I felt like it would be good to show you guys as well. So I'm not going to do like the whole nail or anything. I'm just going to do like a little swoop on the bottom right side of the nail. It kind of goes up the right side, closer to my index finger, and just kind of wraps around the cuticle area. I do put blooming gel on the entire nail so that the polish has a good flow to it. Now, if you just want it to flow in a certain area, then you just put the blooming gel in a certain area. So I do plan on doing like a tutorial about that, or of that, at some point really soon, just to kind of like do different ways to use blooming gel and stuff like that. But as I'm getting into the swing of the new year with my new schedule and the way my life is going right now, and just the change up of the way things went and everything like that, I just am getting back into it. So this video is a day late. Well, partially because I was busy, but partially because I was waiting on my book so I could show you guys my book if you don't have it. And because I was so excited. But I did have this set ready for the release day, and I was so excited because my book was supposed to be delivered, but it snowed here. So, yeah, it was delayed by a day. And I was so sad. But now it is here, and I'm going to be reading it. All I'm going to do is take my orange wood stick, swirl up the polish a little bit. Now, with black and white, you don't want to swirl it up too much because you'll end up getting gray. And if you want a straight black and a straight white, then you're just going to use the gray, or you're going to use like a little swiping motion. But if you want it to be more gray, obviously you just mix them up. But I wanted the black to kind of show through with the white. I mean, obviously the nail is black, so the black's not going to show up where the black is on the nail, but it gives a nice contrast, and you'll see it's a really nice marble. So all I do is like I scoop it up, and then you see me turning my brush as I'm applying it. I'm literally just letting the polish fall off the brush at this point. I am not pushing down or anything. I'm just dragging it over and just kind of letting the polish fall off the brush. And what'll happen is that it will bloom out on its own, and then just kind of let it do its thing for about, I say about 5 or 10 seconds. And then if you want to help it bloom a little bit, you'll see me help it. And then I also add a little tiny bit of black in, and I pull the swirls out with my liner brush. So this is really just I guess an easy, very beginner friendly way to marble. You just got to be careful when you're mixing your colors, because if you mix them too much and play around with them too much, you may get a color that you don't want, or you may lose a color that you're looking for. So just keep that in mind whenever you're mixing your colors or swirling them or dropping them on the nail or whatever have you, really. You just got to like pay attention to what you're doing so that you don't overdo it and end up with a color you don't want. So there's how my marble looks now. And I leave my husband's commentary in there because I wasn't quite sure about the set, like how it was looking, but I end up liking it. I just give it a little bit of help. And then I asked my husband his thoughts because I wasn't too sure about it, about how, like, when I pulled out the color, like, I pulled it up a little bit. I wasn't quite sure how I liked it. But I mean, I asked him what he thought, and I left his answer so you guys can kind of hear him. So yeah, I'll come back right after you hear that. What do you think about this? No? So, I mean, overall, he approved. He thought it was pretty good. Yeah, I went ahead and did the stamping, like I said, and I didn't have to do the isolated chrome since the chrome that I used was for the bottom one. It was the same chrome I used as the base, so I didn't worry about it. I stamped the little one first, did Andarna kind of small, and then I did Terran a little bit bigger, and I left him black because that was only fitting. But yeah, like I recorded parts of the stamping, but I didn't actually get the part where I actually picked up the one that I wanted to use, so I just cut it all out. Um, I do have other stamping stuff I want to do, but it was just late and I was tired and I didn't get the part that I wanted, so I just took the stamping part out. But I do leave in making the eye. I was deciding between those two colors, and I ultimately decided to go with this color called Tiger's Eye. I do speed it up because I thought it looked better sped up versus going so slow because I'm literally just drawing an oval and an eye shape. It was kind of simple. But what I do with it, since this is a cat eye, I wanted to pull it to where that when I turn my nail and move my thumb around, it like the eye reflects differently. Like it just kind of moves, and I thought that was really fun and cool. But I didn't want the full area of the eye to be covered in the cat eye section, but I didn't really know how much I was wanting to cover. So I just did the full eye design. I mean, going back, I could have added a different color in the corners of the eyes, but I mean, I love how it looks. Like, depending on how I turn my nail, it looks like I just think it's the coolest thing. It's the first time I've ever done an eye on my nail, and I feel like my hand is watching me. It's so weird. But right now, I'm just kind of pulling everything to the surface. And then I was like, what if I do it like a almost like an iris? Like make it like a cat eye iris. And that's what I decided to do. And when you're doing like a circle, you want to be really quick with the flick of the wrist. Yeah, like literally with the flick of the cat eye magnet so you can get that curve. But yeah, just kind of play around with it until you get like the desired cat eye design that you're wanting. But I wanted it to look kind of like an iris, like the eye color, and then I wanted it to be in a ball, so it was like shifty. I thought it was really, really cool. And then I do obviously the line in the middle for the dragon eye part. Yeah, I went ahead and cured it, but look at how cool that is. Even without the eye, that looks really, really cool. It looks like a planet. But I go ahead and I use some of the black that I used for the base of the middle nail, and I just draw almost like it's not a straight line, but it's not quite an oval either. I don't really know. I just call it like a dragon eye. You want it to be a little bit thicker in the center, like a cat eye as well. You just want it to be a little thicker in the center and thinner on the edges, coming almost to a point, but not really. They just meet at the end of the color part. And then didn't like the way the first one went, and I was like, you know what, dummy, you can just draw a dot in the middle and drag it out, almost like a star, but not quite. That was a much easier route to go than just trying to draw a straight line and then fix it. It was a lot easier this way. And then once I was happy with the way the line looked, I went ahead and I cured it in my lamp for a full 60 seconds because it's black, and then everything could be cured and everything was pretty much ready to go. All my designs were all set. And then it was time to finish it up. So by this point, it's probably, or I think it was already like 12:30, and I was like so tired. But I promised I would show you all the bubble stuff, so I feel like the bubbles are pretty fun. So the first one I'm going to do is my index finger, and you see how the bubbles are a little bit bigger. All I did was pour Dawn dish soap a little bit in the bottom of this cup, and I put the water on high speed and like splashed it in the cup. There's not much water in there, but there's a lot of bubbles. And you see how the bubbles are bigger. Also, if you want thicker, like bigger, higher raising, deeper crater bubbles, you want to apply your top coat like a little thicker. Now, I wouldn't suggest using a thick top coat because then the bubbles aren't going to be able to penetrate the top coat to be able to make them soak in and be deeper into the top coat. So I'd recommend using a thinner top coat, but you still have to use a good bit of it. You just got to be careful with it running onto your skin. but you want to use a little bit more top coat. And then once you're happy with the amount of top coat, this is where the speed comes in. What I like to do, some people scoop the bubbles onto the nail. I take my finger and I dip it in, grab the bubbles, and immediately put it into my flash cure lamp as long as the bubbles have gone over the entire nail. I pull the nail out and I usually use a lint-free wipe, but I made like really big scales because I wanted Terran's scales to be bigger. But the lint was coming off the lint-free wipe and it was breaking the towel, so I just decided to use a scrub brush and I just scrubbed it with some alcohol. And there's what it looks like. Same thing for the pinky nail, but I want to apply a thin layer, a very thin layer, so it'll be nice and flat. I'm going to dip my nail into the bubbles. I'm going to fully cure for 60 seconds, and then I'm going to wipe away the excess bubbles. So these ones, the bubbles had kind of sat a little bit, so they kind of got a little bit smaller, but they didn't sit for a while, and I went ahead and fully cured it. Now I'm wiping off the excess, and you see the bubbles are a lot flatter, like the top coat is a lot flatter on that nail versus the index finger. All right, so for this one, I'm going to do the area around the dragon eye to give it that full dragon eye effect. I had thought I was going to do 3D on it, but like I said, I have a lot going on and I didn't want it to be super 3D to like catch on everything. And I'm also sorry I'm off the screen a little bit. I wanted to keep the bubbles in the screen so that you could kind of see them going away, but also so that I would remember to do this next part on camera because I did it before and somebody asked me how I make the bubbles small. So yeah, I am going to show you this time because I did it on my last set and then I forgot to record that part. So I'm going to apply the top coat everywhere that I need it. Be careful to not get it on your skin. And if you get, I didn't want it on the color part or the cat eye part, so I made sure to clean that up. I realized that it wasn't enough, so I just take my little cuticle pusher and I just swirl it up. And you see how much smaller the bubbles get? They got really small, and I just take my thumb, dip it all the way in, scoop some bubbles, and then cure it fully, and then just wipe off the excess. And then look at how much smaller of bubbles, more scaly, it looks now. That's like the 3 different types of bubbles you could get. And then I did not top coat the center of the eye yet, so I do have to go ahead and do that part. I did want it to be a little bit puffy, so I use a little bit extra top coat right there, but not a lot. I just use the top coat brush to just kind of like get it in the general area, but I wanted to get my brush wet with a little bit of top coat so that it would drag through the top coat a little bit easier. But you have to top coat all of the nails. So I've only top coated currently the pinky, the index finger, and now the thumb. So I do top coat the other 2 nails, but I do them off camera because it's nothing special. And then I am finished. So yeah, it was relatively easy design, I guess, to do. It's just a lot of parts, a lot of moving parts in the design. And I'm trying to challenge myself and push myself more outside of my comfort zone this year. So this was my first step in doing it. And I showed my kids and they are dragon obsessed right now. Like How to Train Your Dragon is a favorite in this house. And then there's like another show that they like that has dragons in it, but we love dragons here in this house. The kids love How to Train Your Dragon. And they play with these little 3D printed dragons that I have and all that. So yeah. There was not really much to the design, but I thought it turned out really cool and I wanted to show y'all. So I really hope you guys enjoyed the design. I do have some pictures at the end. I have a video of my book. I do have a little showing of the glow in the dark. So yeah, thank you guys for sticking around and watching this video. I really hope you guys did enjoy the video. I hope you guys learned something. I hope you guys found it interesting. If you did, please consider liking the video, maybe subscribing, sticking around for my next video. And yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to catch you on the next video.